Do you ever feel motivated one day and then the next day you're just completely stuck in your room bedrotting all day? Well, to be honest, you're not lazy. You're just relying on motivation, and that's the problem. Because motivation fades, while discipline is what helps you build the life you want and desire. Hi, my name is Gracie, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to build real discipline, stay consistent, and stop procrastinating. Because procrastination can be a really big roadblock when you're trying to build real discipline. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to stop procrastinating as well. We all have our moments where we suddenly feel super motivated, wanting to completely change our lives, or just, I don't know, completely change your whole aesthetic of your life or something. But where does that come from? Motivation comes from your mood, environment, and energy levels. That's why, you suddenly feel so motivated sometimes, because that's just how you feel. And that's also a reason why you're so inconsistent with your goals and your progress. Your energy levels are constantly changing throughout the day, because you're not gonna be happy all day, or you're not gonna always be excited. You're gonna have some moments where you feel sad, you feel angry, and that's perfectly fine. But what's not fine is you relying on your mood for motivation, because as I said before, you're not always going to be happy, you're not always going to be motivated, and that's why your progress is always consistent. It's because you keep on relying on your mood. When you rely on motivation, it becomes a constant trap of, I'll do it when I'm ready, I'll do it later, I'll start tomorrow. Well, to be honest, you're just making up excuses for yourself, because you rarely ever feel ready. You feel ready through your actions, through what you do. You never truly feel ready. Athletes, business owners, celebrities are always waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. nowadays. Not because they feel motivated, not because they want to, because let's be real, who wants to wake up at 4 a.m. every single day? Not a lot of people. Less than 3% of the world actually wakes up that early, not because they want to, but because it's a routine and a habit that they've gained through discipline. Every time you do something without relying on constant motivation, you're proving to yourself that, I can do hard things even when I don't want to, and that's how you're actually going to reach your goals, become mentally strong, and more self-trusting. Now, overall, motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. If you want, long-term growth, long-term success or change, discipline is the foundation of it. Motivation is just the occasional bonus of it. Now the real question is, how do I actually build discipline? Because it's not like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow at 3 a.m., work out, start a whole business, become successful in one day. So how do I actually build real discipline? Building real discipline means to act consistently, even if you don't feel like it. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up even if it's hard, boring, or inconvenient. The first thing to building real discipline is a purpose, because building discipline without a purpose will lead to burnout. When we talk about a reason to build real discipline, you can't just say to be better, because that's not a strong enough reason. A strong reason is how will my life change if I stay consistent for the next 5 months? How will my life not change and be impacted if I don't stay consistent for the next 5 months? You need to ask yourself, because you need a real strong reason, because you can't just build real discipline and say I'm building it because I want to be better. You need an actual reason. A reason could be, I have to wake up early to build my business before school, because I don't want to be stuck with a job I hate later in life. Because it's better to struggle now, because you're investing in a more stable, successful, and more comfortable life. Now let me ask you, would you rather struggle now and grow, or would you rather let the struggle choose you later on in life when you're less prepared? Probably the first one, right? Well, then why are you trying to avoid it? Struggling is unavoidable. You just choose when and why it happens. And to be honest, regret hits way harder than any form of discipline, because your future self will either thank you or, resent you for what you did. And plus, a little discomfort now is way more easier than living a life of knowing you didn't try, you didn't change, you didn't show up. As I mentioned before, motivation grows through consistency, not motivation. So what I want you to do is pick up 1 to 2, daily habits, like small habits to do every single day. For example, 10-minute Pilates routine or journaling. Do it every single day, no matter if it's a bad day, no matter you're too tired or something. Just do it, because after, you're gonna feel so much better knowing that you actually stuck to your routine and did it, instead of just bed rotting. The next thing I want you to do is make a structure for your day. Make a routine, because you will not need to focus on, motivation if you have a plan. When creating a routine, you need to make sure that it's scheduled and predictable, because if it's not, you're gonna end up waking up at completely different times. You're gonna be easily overwhelmed because you're waking up and sleeping at completely different times, making it more harder to stick to the routine because you're always stressed and fatigued. So when you create a routine, make sure it's nice and it's realistic, right? And make sure if you're gonna do something, plan in advance so you don't have to rush when actually doing it. Lower the cost of entry. Remove friction between you and the task. For example, lay out your gym clothes the night before you're actually gonna go to the gym. Make your lunch before the night before you go to work or school, because discipline will become so much more easier when the choice or decision is much more simpler. Being disciplined is being consistent, not perfect. You will mess up from time to time, and that's completely normal, because discipline is not all or nothing. It's fine to miss a day. Just forgive yourself and get back on track immediately. Don't try to make up any other excuses, because when you start making up excuses, it starts becoming another cycle. So just forgive yourself and get back on track, because discipline is being able to show up again and again and again. Detach yourself from your feelings. Train yourself to act regardless of your mood. Instead of saying, do I feel like doing this? Say, this is what I said I'll do. Because you're here not because you want to, but because you know what it takes to achieve your goals. Lastly, you need to adopt the mindset of a disciplined person. Shift the way you think about yourself to align with the way you see yourself. For example, I'm not perfect, but at least I'm consistent. Like that. Remember, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up even when it's hard. So the small things you do now will shape who you will be long term. So start small, stay consistent, and keep pushing forward. Okay, so this is the end of my video. Bye guys.